Hello everyone and thanks for tuning in. I'm Andrew, as you would well know if you're a follower of my channel, and here's a little bit of an update to get you guys up to speed with what's going on. First of all, I received a Panasonic 3DO in the mail, however it was dead on arrival. I contacted the seller, he was very helpful. I got a refund of €100, which translated to about $130, and I got to keep the dead unit, which I'm probably going to sell for parts later on, but I'll keep the box because the box looks fantastic. I will get a 3DO again. I'm getting kind of sick of the console though, because this is the second one that I've had that was dead on arrival. But what can you expect? It was a CD-based console developed in 1994, so you can't expect much from it. Anyway, I got a bunch of games as well. I've got Gex, I've got Shockwave, I've got a Mercenary on the way. You know, I've got Jurassic Park Interactive, which is a hangover from my first 3DO. So I've got a few of those games lying around, so I better make use of them at some point. Anyway, money's tight at the moment, so I won't be buying much in the next few weeks. Dribs and drabs, probably Mega Drive games. A couple of Mega Drive games, I'll probably review them as the time comes. Got a new episode of Gaming Education in the works. I'm still working on that, as they do take some research. So that's on the way. The big announcement, this is the big announcement, the one that is the most interesting announcement that I have to tell you today, is that I am producing an independent feature film, which I'm calling In Rio's Footsteps. And why am I calling it In Rio's Footsteps? It's because if you've played Shenmue 2, you probably understand the feeling of I wouldn't say isolation, but we'll go with wonderment, because honestly every location in that, every new location was just accompanied by this incredible sense of wonder due to Yu Suzuki's incredible artistic vision. And I wanted to replicate that in documentary form, so I am going to Hong Kong. Flights are booked, Hong Kong dollars are converted, passports ready, on March 19th through April 10. I'll be visiting with my friends. We're going to have a good time, and while I am there, I'll be shooting In Rio's Footsteps. Now, In Rio's Footsteps is going to be an examination of the locations used in Shenmue 2. Obviously, the locations were not to scale, nor were they often accurate, but they were all inspired by real locations in Hong Kong for the game. I'll give you a couple of examples here. For instance, Aberdeen, it's a good one because it's the first one. First place you encounter is obviously the harbour area. Now, a thing that is accurate about Aberdeen in Shenmue 2 as it's depicted is Aberdeen is definitely the place where you would find the floating junk city. There was also a very popular floating dumpling restaurant, I think, but that was shut down. Anyway, if you look at Aberdeen, it's nothing like it looks in Shenmue, but I found areas of Hong Kong Island that look like Aberdeen. They're in Central, just in between Central and Wonsai, and they look as close to Aberdeen as you're going to get. But bearing in mind, the game is set in the late 80s, so things look a fair bit different now. But I was actually surprised at how similar certain things look. For instance, Wanzai. Again, Wanzai looks nothing like it does. It does look it looks similar. Certain places in Wanzai. Now, you know that each area is split up into quarters, and I'm ignoring that, and I'm just picking certain memorable locations. So, you know, you've got the Wise Man's Quarter, the Golden Quarter, the Lucky Charm Quarter, I think that was another one, etc., etc. Now, with Wanzai is quite a big area. I think it's one of the biggest districts on Hong Kong Island. And I had a look, and I found certain places in Wanzai that look just like they were depicted in Shenmue 2. The big signs, the restaurants facing out into the street, the technology stores, the gift stores, and things like that. So I'll be visiting those and showing you them as well. Another place I found was now this is an important one, I think, because this was a very pivotal point of the game when Ryo visits Manmo Temple. Now, I actually have been obviously researching this because I've been doing a lot of work on this. Spending a lot of money. Going to Hong Kong. It's not a cheap trip. So I'm serious. I'm very serious about this, and I'm serious about finding these places that were inspired by it. And I found the Manmo Temple in Shenmue 2, and unlike the other areas, it is exactly the same as it was depicted in Shenmue 2. The Manmo Temple in Shenmue 2 is located not in Wanzai, but in Sheung-wan, which is sort of to the west of Wanzai on Hong Kong Island. It's an incredible looking place, and I'm looking forward to getting some shots of it. And luckily, I'm going, and this is the part I'm most excited about. I'm going during the period where the cherry blossoms blossom, and so I am most excited about that because it'll look most like it did in Shenmue 2. And the last was this is something that's fascinated me, but Kowloon Walled City. Now there's a long story behind this which I'll explore in the documentary, but for now, Kowloon Walled City used to be a fort, and it was commandeered by the British in 1898, and from there it developed into this incredible little autonomous city that was, virtually impenetrable from the outside because the buildings were so tightly packed. They were so tightly packed that you could barely get in there, and then you could barely navigate the alleys because there were. I'll put some pictures so I can show you. And it was an incredible place, and I in a way, I'm actually depressed that I can't go there because I would have loved to see it. Granted, it wasn't the safest place in the world, but who dares wins. I would have seen some amazing things. Now it's a park. The gigantic buildings that Ryo visits in Shenmue 2 are not there anymore. But I'll visit the park and I'll show you some things around the park. Here we go. So I also am going to try and obviously I'm going to try really hard to license the music from Shenmue because this is going to be a feature film that I'm producing here and I need to do this right. So I'm going to be licensing the music from Shenmue for use in the movie. Now, the last place in the game, obviously, that Ryo visits is Guilin, which I can't afford to visit because not only would that involve me going into China, so the transport costs, obviously, I can't meet that, but it's also I would need a visa, and my travel budget is stretched to breaking point, so I can't afford to go to China, unfortunately. I probably wouldn't have been able to film anything anyway, because apparently it's very hard to video things in China. Apparently you can get arrested and things for that. So I think I'll just stick with making the Hong Kong portion of the documentary and maybe Guilin at a later date. But anyway, that's the plan. I've mostly finished planning. Obviously I just need to basically polish things off, get all my locations down, maybe organize some interviews, finish off getting the licenses for the music, and maybe even try to snag an interview with someone who was on the crew of Shenmue 2. I don't know, maybe I can try. Anyway, thanks for listening. Apologies again for not filming this, but it's far too hot for me to set up my camera, and I just don't have the patience. And yeah, just to let you know, I am working on things. I'm working on things quite hard, and that's why I've been so quiet, because I've been doing all of these fun things in the background. Anyway, expect a new gaming education. I'll get some new reviews up as well, and I hope your 2013 has been fantastic, guys. Thanks and bye.